This is an introduction to Capture Pilot. Capture Pilot runs in 3 distinct modes, 2 of them through the computer, 1 of them through the iPad, and as enabled by an IQ3 or 2 series digital back. It allows you to stream your shoot out through your local area network so that your client or other people can see the shoot as it's happening on their own computers, and so they're not huddled around you at your shoot computer. Capture Pilot is easy to set up. You need only name the session that you want to broadcast, and you fill in this field here, and then you start the image server. It'll then create a web address that anybody with a computer on your network can connect to. So by putting this address into the web browser, and now you see the contents of the capture folder. And you can click, your client can click in, and you see that they can rate, and if we have on screen the same thing that you'll see that in real time it's going to affect the shoot that you have on screen. So if we go to a recent image and say, okay, let's call this a 5-star, then it's instantly a 5-star on your computer. You can also do color coding, and so if you had multiple people watching the set and you want them just a yes-no vote on images that they like seeing as it's coming through, you can assign each person a color, and their vote is just an on-off toggle. So you can say, okay, you're yellow, so when you like this image coming through, you just, you can use yellow, and then it shows up in Capture One. The second way to use Capture Pilot is in this middle category. It's called mobile, and it is limited to only a couple users being on here at the same time, so you need to use it sparingly. Also, since you can capture images from it, you may want to disable capturing images so that anyone who's connected isn't firing your camera for you. But this is a way for you to use an iOS device to fire your camera remotely within your studio environment. The third option for Capture Pilot is to have a Phase 1 IQ2 or 3 series digital back, create a Wi-Fi signal for your iOS device to attach to. So if you're on location, you're untethered, and you want access to viewing the images that show up on the CF card and also getting access to the live view, first thing you do is turn Wi-Fi on the back. That's through the little thing that looks like a Wi-Fi signal. And what you're going to create is an ad hoc network. Okay, and then you've got a little display down here that's showing that it's creating the network. The next thing you do is go to the settings on your iPad and choose the network that the Phase 1 back is creating in it. So it's Phase 1 and the serial number of that digital back. So you select that network to attach your iPad Wi-Fi to. Now you launch Capture Pilot. And there it is, and you click on it. Okay, so we can shoot directly from the application. We can adjust our aperture, shutter, ISO, EV compensation. We can change the mode that the camera is in. We can change the file format compression. We can change the white balance from either the presets or any of the custom settings. You can check the battery. You see how many shots you have left on the back, and you can go into live view. From live view, you can double tap into it, see a 1-to-1 image off of a CMOS based back. Click back out to the main screen, and you can continue to shoot from this. It'll continue to populate images in here. And so you can have this camera separated from you It's streaming the signal, it's populating your iPad. You can carry your iPad with you around, firing the camera at will. Very handy to have a large screen, especially if you have perhaps an iPad Pro, the large one with the matte screen. That's a wonderful setup to be able to navigate that space of all the information here when you're making critical focus decisions. This is especially relevant when you've got this back and you're attaching to a tech camera. With a tech camera, you don't have a viewfinder to look through. You're focusing based on basically a focusing chart, numbers that you trust. If you're needing to get into a situation where you are in an environment you haven't shot in before and you need to know where the focus is falling, rather than shooting and looking at the image afterwards, you can go into live view, do a live view focus. What the live view is showing you also is a relationship of what f-stop you have chosen. So in this case, if I open up to 3.5, then we see it get, we watch the depth of field shorten. As I increase the depth of field up to f16, now I can see that I'm getting the background into focus. So you're seeing an actual representation of what f-stop you're shooting at. So that's also is very handy for previewing how your final image is going to look. Of course, outside of live view, you can tap into any of the images, double tap on it, and now the back is sending, again, only the information necessary to resolve over onto the iPad. So when you move around, it resends that little bit of information so that you can be in it at 100%, you can jump back out, you can go back out to thumbnail view, look at a new image, and everything runs very nicely and quickly. This middle option for the mobile device through Capture One is probably, it's enabled to have you be able to do it, but it's not the prime setup. The prime setup really is attaching through the web conduit. So 50 people could be in the studio looking at the images as they're spooling off of this session, or when you're out in the field and you don't have a Wi-Fi network of your own, but the digital back can create one, and then you're using your iOS device to connect wirelessly to it so you can preview your images. So that's an overview of Capture Pilot. During this session, I was using the Phase 1, but a Capture Server session that you create off of your computer will work with any tethered camera. So as long as you can tether into it, you can create this server and have your clients or anyone else see this happen in real time.